Sup everyone, it's me, Adam Prime, and we are back for another TokuBrew podcast. This week in Toku, may or may not be on hiatus, but we'll get to that in a second. I'm behind on things, it's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
With me as always is everyone's favorite New Year's baby. Wait, you're not a New Year's baby.
Yeah, I'm not.
Do you know anyone who's born on New Year's?
No, not that I know of.
We know no New Year's babies. I'm sorry, I have to tell the truth there.
Baby. Let us know in the comments.
I'm
kidding.
Send us a like if you're a New Year's baby.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you're a New Year's baby.
And we want the numbers to be justified, so don't lie.
Hi, I'm Stormy. The not New Year's baby.
So, we are recording this before, not too long after the episode we had previously recorded, which was on Christmas Day.
It's not Christmas no more.
But that means there's no new Decker episode, but it is a clip show anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, even the show itself was just like, it's a clip show.
Yeah, it's just like a special clip show episode. And
I mean, we'll probably skim through it at some point.
Well, yeah.
See if there was
Next
anything
week, yeah.
interesting.
And so we are only going to have Dawn Brothers and Geats today. Which do you want to talk about first?
Let's do Dawn Brothers. It was just kind of like a fun little romp.
It was such a weird episode.
I feel like
This was characters interacting the episode. It was
Yeah.
just a scheme.
it almost felt like an improv group.
It
Because-
somewhat did.
The whole gimmick of this episode is Sarahara. The person came to him just like, this guy ruined my family. There's this con artist that's like going into people's homes.
Shocker, he's a monster later.
Yeah, he turns into a monster for like a sec, you know.
Yeah.
And he's like going in, he's like ruining families and stealing all their, like robbing
Robbing them blind.
Robbing them blind. I can't speak today, apparently. And so, in order to help these people out and make sure this guy gets caught, he has out all the Dawn brothers
He enlists.
pretend to be a family, and that is the episode. That is the whole episode.
Yeah, and it's so funny because it's how it opens up is Taro delivering a package to Sarahara's house, and it's Haruka who opens a door in a ridiculous outfit. Kajino is pretending to be the
She looked
mom
like a
and
2000s
father.
K-pop. She looked like a 2000s K-pop.
Or a little bit like Nico from X-Aid.
Yes, absolutely. She looks a lot like a very rainbow-colored Nico.
So yeah, Sarahara was her older brother.
Who looked normal.
Yeah, and they were just trying to convince Taro just to stay away. This is just how it is. That's how everything's going.
Kajino was both their mother and father.
He was mostly in the mother.
Yeah, he was a dad for like 10 seconds. That's about it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, did we see it more than once? I don't think so.
Yeah. Later on, we get Jiro and Tsubasa, actually.
Who
are her boyfriends.
Who become Haruka's boyfriends, which...
Who also get along, apparently.
that was the weird part, where it's like, even though he knew it was an act and everything, because they got let into the fold as it was happening, he's just like, I still can't believe that I'm getting cheated on with Jiro.
or that he's like my competitor in any
Yeah.
way. Another... Like, Kajino, of course, mentioned Miho, and they framed that as, that's her
dead
daughter, who would have been my older sister.
Yep.
And the whole thing with, like, this scam artist is, like, he'll come in, he'll get to know the family.
He'll tell you're haunted.
Yeah, he's like, there's evil spirits.
Thanks, Sylvia Brown, but robbed you.
But, yeah,
So...
basically... Yeah, you're right.
Well,
basically.
actually, wait, didn't she technically rob people?
I don't know.
TV psychics are weird. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's like, there's evil spirits haunting you, or like, and one of the things is like, you need to give up your most prized possession, or destroy it, or something. And he'll also go in and like unlock their doors to like rob them the old-fashioned way, you know?
Yeah, and like they had nothing of value.
Yeah. They even got Kaido to like get in on it.
Yeah,
by lying to Taro. He's like, is this really
Are they
happening?
family?
Yes.
He's just like, yes.
Oh, he gets like the hiccups, or I wonder if they're like heart murmurs, you know, where it's like he's like trying to understand.
But yeah, like they're just trying their best to not get him involved until he
Honestly,
gets involved.
yeah, a lot of the gags just from this episode just come from them interacting and being funny.
Yeah, it's just them literally just making this one guy go nuts as he has to bounce off of their crazy. And it was so much fun. Like this was genuinely a fun episode. It's something that we always like about this show is like all the characters bounce off each other so well. And there's so many weird different gags for, like you said, like when he was breaking into the house and doing it the old fashioned way. He just was like running into things and just being like, oh my god, what's going on? Which, by the way, at this point, Taro is in, and
He's in
he
on it.
somewhat can lie now.
Somewhat.
He still has a heart attack later.
Yeah.
But yeah, for whatever reason, he got the go ahead and go through of getting past like the dinner part, and really not a whole lot much happened after that.
We also do have to insert a small thing of like when Sarahara was like letting Tsubasa and Jiro in on it. It looked like he was chloroforming them because he's like ha ha ha, and he like put like a rag over their mouth and like led them away. I just have to mention that.
Oh my god, there's so many good shots of him just like shoving his little neck thing
His like scarf
into somebody's mouth and just being like, "Ah, yes, you're here for this." I have to tell you, hey, shut the fuck up. This guy's a con man. Just fucking play along. Just keep going.
And I mean, is there anything? I mean, and they do. The monster fight is fun. I will say.
Before we do the monster fight, I want to talk about what happens in the house because it's a funny turn of events. I don't remember how it all happened, but I think it was Kajino on the phone with Miho, and he's just like
He thought he was talking. She was just like a nutter talking to her dead daughter.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh my god. And then he sees Haruka sleeping, and she turns into Oni's sister.
He's like, ah, demon.
Tsubasa was
Monster.
just drunk, who blacked out drinking oolong tea. Jiro Toravolt.
Oh, he recognized him as a criminal.
Yeah, he recognized him as a criminal. Toravolt does what Toravolt does.
It's Toravolt, yeah.
And then he finally runs into Taro. Freaks out. I'm realizing he didn't run into Saruhara at all.
But Sarahara's the one that's just like, haha, I've caught you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, Taro, like, basically is just like, what's wrong with your family? He's like, yes, my family, or whatever.
And then he heart attacks.
He's like, oh my god, this guy's dead! And then obviously he gets up later. He's like, ah! Like,
yeah, he's like so freaked out. And by the end of it, he turns himself in.
Oh, did he turn himself in? I thought he
Yeah.
got caught. I thought he just got arrested.
No, I think he said he got turned in. He turned himself in.
Oh, well, I'll have to look back on that.
But yeah, the monster fight was fun because it was the Go Ranger monster.
And they even did the football thing.
They did the football thing for the final attack, and he used all of the weapons, like that all the Rangers had.
He had a boomerang.
He had a boomerang, the whip, the whole 9 yards.
The nene. He had a bow and arrow, I think, at one point, right?
Yeah.
And even they were like, well, fine, we're going to do it ourselves. And they basically just, like, hacky-sacked it around, and then Taro ended it with a headbutt right in his face.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was really fun. And it's such a nice little wholesome ending, because, like, they were like, oh, we feel so bad, like, dragging Tsubasa into that. But, like, it goes to him, and he looks at the house, and he, like, looks at it, remembers it, like, fondly.
Yeah, he's like, oh, good times with my
like,
friends.
And it was, like, really sweet. It warmed my heart. And then he just kind of walked away. And I was like, oh, wow. And how subtle. Like, you know, they're not even going to have him, like, say something. It's just kind of all inferred. And then he does, like...
Clicks his heels
he
together.
Jumps and, like, clicks his heel, like, his heel's, like, 4 feet in the air. Oh, my God, man.
Yeah, like, what the hell? So, what else do you have any other favorite moments in this? Like, I'm just curious. You have any moments that like pop out to you that we hadn't mentioned already?
Honestly, the part I keep thinking about most was just Tsubasa like looking back fondly and then clicking his heels. That was the part that really stayed with me for some reason.
I like how they were also playing in Taro feeling left out.
Yeah, and Taro opened up a little bit. He's like, you know what? Yeah, I guess I did feel a little bit left out apparently.
Yeah, he's like apparently. which
And I just like watching them interact with each
like
other.
no like
This is the sitcom I want.
like I loved
them
it.
all living in a house together. And hijinks, you know.
Yeah, we're not even touching next episode. We're not talking about the preview. It's oh, okay.
That'll be a fun one to talk about, guys. That's all we're gonna say.
Yeah.
But I guess moving on to Geats. Woo!
Okay.
Woo, some shit happened.
Whole lot. Did we mention the fox hunt last time? Because it's a fox hunt.
Yeah, we had mentioned that it was a fox hunt, but didn't really say much other than that.
Okay.
So.
Here's my question is, what do we want to talk about in what way first?
I guess we'll just kind of like start at the beginning of the episode, you know, work our way through.
Oh yeah, it didn't even play the theme song this episode.
Yeah. It was pretty condensed. There's a lot of plot in this episode. I don't blame them.
And it's pretty much just Kaiwa and Neon having to figure out, do they have to kill Geats? Like that's the goal.
Because like they've always like accepted like, yes, I have to fight in order to get my desire, but am I willing to kill Geats? Am I willing to like kill a player and I imagine what they consider a friend?
Well, that and like even Tsurumi's like, hey,
this is
Game Master, you can't do this. That's against the rules. You can't. What do you think you're doing? And he's just like, oh, gave his bullshit, whatever.
And he even said like, oh, I want to be the savior that Geats is, something like that. So I guess he has a bit of like, not only jealousy but a savior complex.
I think he was saying we need a new savior in place of Geats.
No, I think he said I want to be the savior that Geats is, or like he said something about like he wanted to be that.
Oh, okay.
We can go back and look if you want, but and we do see Punk Jack again.
Yeah, he's still mind controlled.
Yeah,
and like Neon's.
They tried to hide it because they put like another pumpkin on his head.
Yeah, but like apparently it pops off. Do we just want to get this out of the way?
Okay, guys, a lot of like plot happens in this episode, so if you don't want like a lot of stuff spoiled for you, I would recommend watching this one first because like this was a really good, fun one. It's really plot dense, so like I would imagine.
And to be fair, this should be released a couple weeks after this episode.
So no excuses, guys.
So yeah, like, and you know we talk about spoilers. If you're watching,
if you're watching, watch this one.
Yeah. By the way, if you've been watching for 40 weeks or however long we've been talking about Geats, I think you know we talk about spoilers here.
I mean, yeah, I only usually like give reminders about that, like when it's like really dense plot episodes, or if something is like, if like an episode is like super good, and it's like, hey, watch this one first, it's really good.
But like, yeah, no.
But other than that, it's like pretty much just like, yeah, you guys know at this point.
So yeah, we find out later that like, oh, the Game Master was still controlling him, and you saw it, and like he exploded it with Geats. Yeah. But it was also meant to...
I'm sorry, you didn't explain that very well. I'm sorry.
Okay, wait.
So, like, Nyago sees that, like...
They're fighting, because she's questioning everything.
Yeah, and, like, Geats is going to shoot him. Like, we think that he does at first because, like...
Like, yeah, tactical blast.
Oh, he, like, uses his thing, it explodes, and that's what we see at first. But in a flashback, we see that, like, oh, the pumpkin fell off, and we saw that he was being controlled by the Game Master, which Nyago sees, and... Geats never even really shoots him, but he activates like a bomb inside of like the helmet that's controlling him, and he explodes.
We don't see a body. We don't see it either say mission failed. We didn't hear
see the ID core crack or anything.
We didn't see
so it's possible he's alive, but at the moment he does not look very alive.
And it did label him as loot that he lost. So we know that, but we doesn't mean
at the moment for us to say he is completely dead for sure.
Well, since we're on this, do we want to talk about the thing that happens right at the end?
I don't know. I kind of want to save that one a little bit.
We'll save that. Okay, we'll save it a little bit.
Because like it's not like super important that we talk about that now. I think we should get through some of like some of the events that happen.
But yeah, no. So like even Neon's just like, I need to use any of the resources I have.
And she pulls a smart move. I will say that.
Yeah, she pretty much just like, because the Game Master is really trying to get either of them to really want it. Like, he's even trying to get Kaiwa to cheat and be like, oh, I want you to win. Like, almost like grooming him or something. He
gives him another buckle.
He gives, like,
I'm on your side. I want you to win. Like,
look how selfish.
Look how frivolous, you know.
Yeah, Aces, yeah.
Like, desires are. Do you want to die so that this desire can be over him being dead and you getting yours, you know, which is like so selfless, so heroic, you know.
Yeah, just pretty much trying to convince him. And after the whole Punk Jack things, it's kind of when everyone's just like he's just like I gotta
Yeah.
like you just have Kaiwa kind of thinking over everything, and he just is like I gotta
He talks with his
get shit
sister.
done. Yeah, he's like I gotta get shit done, and they're getting ready to fight.
All right, and before we get into like what goes down with Nyago, I do want to say like with Geats, like he's basically on the run this whole time
Because we have like
because
other writers.
we don't see where these guys come from. Where do they go? They're Cotton Eye Joes, but like they have the Game Masters helmets on.
They have the
being
glare
remote
helmets,
controls.
yeah.
They're being remotely controlled, and like they're like the quote unquote
Hounds.
hounds that go and they search out and they like bring Geats out into the battlefield so that the hunters,
Can
the
hunt.
riders can fight and kill him,
Yeah.
presumably. And he's hiding from them, and we actually do see Surumi.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
The game navigator.
And she like comes and she patches him up a bit, and she brings him some food, and he's like, "Oh, isn't this cheating?" She's like, "Don't mention it," because obviously she's the one that's the whole time that's like, "This is against so many rules. This is terrible. What the heck are you doing?" And he does actually open up and ask about his mom. And it's dramatic and
as his
and I love
predecessor, yeah, it's dramatic and raining.
And it seems like, because we were wondering this, like, was it a movie that came out?
There's a movie I think that's gonna have another game navigator.
Because like this opened up the question of like, was Geats' mom the one right before Surumi, or was she just a previous one? And this really, their conversation really made it seem like she was the one right before her. So I wonder how that works.
I don't know. They did just say predecessor, so.
I know, but I mean in the one that we watched just now. It'll be something we'll have to go back and look, I guess. There's a lot of specific language in this.
Yeah.
And she does actually recognize the name, and she's like, "I'm sorry, I can't tell you."
Yeah, she just straight up is like, I can't tell you.
Yeah. And we do later find out that Tycoon actually does find out from Nyago that she told him everything about like, his mom.
Yeah, about his mom, yeah. So, so yeah, Nyago goes to her dad. She's like, "Daddy,
you're the sponsor. I want to talk to you as a big sponsor."
Yeah,
head, basically.
Yeah, it's like you have to know somebody who's higher up than the game master.
Like, "Oh, you figured it out, huh? All right."
I like how almost impressed he was. It's like he almost
like, that's my daughter.
It's like he doesn't even feel like impressed. It's like there's still no fucks given, but he is impressed.
Yeah.
He's just like, huh, all right, I'll see who I can talk to.
Mm-hmm. And basically, so it's a little bit of a dramatic reveal as to like what she asked him. I thought she was gonna ask for like a power up or something. But do you want to get into like the main event essentially?
Well, yeah. Well, I did mention what she asked him for, which was like hey, can you talk to whoever?
Oh yeah. So do we want to get into that?
Do we want to get into Tycoon and Geats' fight?
I guess so. So yeah.
That's the next thing, because it's like obviously. Up to what we know, Kai was just like, Geats is killing people just to get what he wants, and
because all he saw was the Punk Jack lose.
Yeah, so he's ready to go fight.
So he's joined in the fight, and they start to like go at it. They both have like it's really interesting.
They both have the command buckles.
They both have command buckles. It's really cool to see what I mentioned was like the most skilled player and the luckiest player fight it out. It's like it's a really interesting.
It's luck versus skill.
Yeah, it's like who will win, and because like and Tycoon was actually taking some tips from Geats apparently, because like it seems like he's starting to struggle a little bit, and Glare, the game master, does actually end up transforming, coming out, and like to like fight and help him out. And then Tycoon, being an absolute G, shoots past Geats and then
shoots the game master.
The game master who's about to attack him. He's like, "I knew if I looked like I was struggling, you would come out because you would basically just been sucking my dick the whole time, basically."
Yeah, it's like we all know what's up. And then we get the Geats Nyago
and then the reveal.
Tycoon team up.
Yeah. Because what Nyago went and did was she's like, "I want to talk. You obviously know people. You know that there is someone higher up than the game master. I want to talk to them." And they went to the game's producer,
Lord Reginald
himself.
We don't know his real name,
but he was the guy that has the lady that helped trick.
He's the guy who sent the command buckle.
He's the one that sent
He has
the
some
command
great
console.
expressions, by the way. You can feel like he's a higher up. He's a producer.
Yeah, the actor's having a lot of fun playing the character, and I'm for it. And he shows up, and he's like, "You've been breaking the rules, and you're not fit to be the game master anymore."
Wait for it, because he waits a little bit.
Yeah, they fight it out, they duke it out. Not Reginald, but
No, like
but,
he just stands back and watches
the three of them up against
the Glare. So it's Glare versus Nyago versus Tycoon.
It was a good fight.
Geats. It was a cool fight. It was honestly really cool.
I really like Glare's suit. It's really cool.
I hope we see it again.
The way it, stuff pops off of him and stuff.
I think the Game Master is any Game Master is Glare. I think that's how that's gonna work, because I don't know if Gory's coming back as Glare. Overall, I think it was a really cool fight, but the fact that you could tell just right at the end, and that Lord Reginald had to come in and just be like, all right, it's over. And they're just like, okay, you're reinstated as riders, and whatever.
And you're fired, basically.
Yeah, they fire.
He fucking deletes him.
He just starts like how a retired rider would disappear.
Yeah, we didn't hear none. His belt just dropped to the ground, so I assume he's just gone. And it really makes me wonder, like, you've mentioned it on the podcast before, of your
what if it's like a Matrix or a simulation?
It also reminds me of
and he even said there's plenty of others to replace you.
Sorry if this is a spoiler for anybody that wanted to watch this movie, but it reminds me a lot of what happens in Don't Worry Darling, I believe it was called.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But for those who know what that movie is, I think it's a lot like that, or whatever it was called. I think it was called Don't Worry Darling. It was a brand new movie that came out recently.
Okay.
But yeah, just in a simulation kind of thing of where they can be taken in and taken out at will.
It could be, and that's something the Game Master, as he's getting, I guess, fired, is what are you gonna do? The Jumato are evolving. How are you gonna do without my leadership? And Lord Reginald just turns to him. It's just we got him we got plenty of other people. You're replaceable. Get the fuck out of here.
And he takes the belt. Come on, he's got to use that at some point in this show.
Lord Reginald, yeah. Maybe. And that's pretty much where they're what the hell is going on? And we get the biggest reveal of the episode.
Yeah, this one's the biggest twist, I would say.
The Desire Grand Prix is a reality show.
It's legitimately a TV show.
And
so
maybe interdimensional. It even was mentioning something about dimensions and everything.
Yeah, so I think
see,
you were kind of right, when I basically compared it to the Hunger Games, of it's just entertainment.
For
straight
rich
up say,
people?
They straight up say, yeah, this is an entertainment reality show for rich people and sponsors.
Reality writer,
Why are
world
you eating candy while you were talking?
It's just too tempting. I have all these, bananas.
Little runts bananas.
Technically, to buy them in bulk is just bananas. They had to be called Banana-ramas, thank you.
Oh my god. That's adorable.
But yeah, no. So that was so weird. And you just start seeing all these cameras just start popping up in that, one zone. And you're just and everyone was just...
eyes.
Everyone realizing how many eyes are on them,
and then you
see,
oh fuck,
and then you see Time Fire with Lord Reginald, and he's just oh, I'm still in as long as you can show me all these interesting dimensions.
And we see another person that has highlights in their hair.
Oh yeah. We don't know what their deal is.
Yeah, we don't know anything about them yet. And I honestly thought you were about to go into the other twist that happens.
Before we get into that, how do you feel about it being a reality show?
I mean, obviously, I was the one that was pitching it. I was like, what if this is the case? I think it's really cool. It kind of adds a whole
it's a good twist
edge to it. I feel like it's another layer that they can really dive into.
The show is changing again.
Yeah, they're saying a new season is here.
Exactly, and obviously they're all reinstated as writers.
And it seems like the tone might be a little bit lighter.
We're gonna have to see.
But we're gonna have to see that. But let's get to this ending bit that
I'm
so ready to talk about.
So
we cut to the gardener.
Everyone's favorite creep.
And he's like, "Oh, my new batch of manure just showed up," and we see a body on the ground. And I thought it was
boots.
Blair.
There's just a bunch of boots.
Yeah, a lot of shoes are around. You can probably put together the representation of that.
And he says, "Huh, I never get the whole body.
No, that wasn't what he said.
He mentions not being ever getting the whole
I
body.
thought it was Glare. I thought it was the Game Master. And he's like, oh, and then like he flops it over and we see it's Buffa's like broken buckle like on this body and we see it's him and he's like, oh, this one's still breathing. And he like licks his hand.
Yeah, he licks him. He's just like, huh, must have used the zombie buckle too much. So Buffa's...
You kind of called that one. You were like, oh, what if he comes back as a zombie because of like he used the zombie buckle too much.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned that on the
I
podcast
don't think
or if
so.
it was just like us driving around, but like he did mention that earlier.
But yeah, no, I just think it's also funny.
So, yeah, apparently they've been using the dead bodies of the contestants as mulch, essentially. I mean, still don't know exactly what they're using the ID cores for, but I guess we kind of... That's morbid, you know?
Yeah. It's
like,
just...
What's the line after this? Like, because we're looking at it right now.
Yeah, we
like,
have the footage.
I don't remember him saying anything about, like, oh, it being, like, a full body, but... Yeah,
Oh, no, you're right. So, yeah, I guess the dead bodies are... Oh, that's terrible. But, like, yeah, he just kind of smells him and is just...
He licks him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I'm wondering if Buffa's now going to be considered of, like, on the Jamato side, and he's just going to have the cracked buckle from now on?
We do see in the preview that he's, like, walking around, like, he's, like, with him and, like, looking around.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't know exactly what's going to happen with him, but, like, I'm excited.
Well, yeah, and it's like he even called him a precious sample, as we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very interested, and I'm glad, but technically Buffa didn't die. Maybe Punk Jacks or Christmas Death, we're not sure.
He's only mostly dead.
Yeah, he's only mostly dead.
I cracked you up when I said that.
Well, yeah.
I don't know why I randomly had Princess Bride on the mind, but yeah, like, again, I'm kind of iffy on Punk Jack just because, like, it's like, I don't trust it until we see the body kind of thing.
Yeah. Which I will say one thing
I
about
wonder if
Buffa.
is just going to be permanently cracked now.
Like, you gotta wonder that.
And if it'll shatter and he'll eventually die that way.
Well, now here's what I'm also gonna say. Where at least it has a clean and nice explanation. They just told us there. We don't have to be like, oh, why is he still alive? The guy just tells him, oh, must have used the zombie buckle too much. Mm-hmm. That's all we need to know.
It makes sense.
And hell, we even were hearing...
To explain it, you know?
Well, yeah, it's also like, you remember when the old man had the zombie buckle and he took it from him? He's like, hey, that's too dangerous for you. I just thought it was so he could get it, but maybe it was honestly because it does do shit to you.
Maybe it makes him crave human flesh.
Oh,
God. Or brains, I don't know.
Brian's. He requests only people named Brian.
And chocolate.
Oh my god.
Points for you if you get that reference. But
it's not that hard.
Shut up. I'm trying my best.
So, what do you think won this week?
Oh, Geats.
That's fair. As much as I love Dawn Brothers...
That was a really dense plot, good episode.
Well, yeah, you get such...
But Dawn Brothers was very fun. That was a very fun episode, and I very much enjoyed it. It's like, that's the hard thing about, like, oh, what was your favorite? Because it's like, they're all good. Like,
yeah.
None of them are, like, truly better than the others sometimes. It's just...
It's not. It's just which one was the most entertaining that week. And they were all really entertaining, but honestly, like, that story stuff is just...
Such
too
good
rich.
It's good
yeah.
Shit, man. This is such a good show.
Hey,
this is so good.
Hey, so.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, yeah. What are your guys' thinks? What were your theories?
What are your guys' thinks?
Yeah, what do you guys thinks? What are your guys' thinks? What are you making fun of me? God, you say one thing weird and you're immediately like a joke.
No, that was so cute. Like,
I don't understand you.
What are your guys' thinks? That's just, it's so cute.
I'm about to say, so yeah, put down your theories in the comments. And by the way, yes, I do know the magazine scans. I know who the guy with the colored hair is and what his deal is. Stormy doesn't, so that's why we're not talking about it.
Mentioned, like,
oh yeah, it was the game master was another thing where it's like they showed that in the magazine.
Like, I thought you had mentioned like someone else uses like the Kamen Rider Glare system. Like, is that it?
No, I wasn't talking about Glare. I was talking about like a different game master from the movie. We have another game master who I think was
is that him?
I think that was the previous one.
Is that him?
No.
Oh, is he like a previous game master?
The white-haired guy?
Yeah, with the highlights. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
You're not telling me.
I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay. He sees spoilers, and I tell him to not tell me. So, but every once in a while he slips.
So, I will still never forget your genuine reaction to Love Cove. That was the best one.
that was an experience, man.
All right.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. Remember, I ordered a really big
Love
plush,
Cove?
Love Cove plush, and when do you think that's gonna get here?
I don't know.
Oh gosh, our post office just like, what the hell is this?
It's a snick.
It's a giant snake. What are you talking about? It's in a refrigerator box. It's in
I don't think it's that
in a
big.
mini fridge box. I don't know.
But yeah, no. And since we're 16 episodes deep and we're entering a new Grand Prix, I guess, I wanted to rank the writers. Yeah, with a whole new Game Master. I wanted to rank the writers so far. Let's get the fucking no names out of the way. So
Who's Lopo?
Okay, the two that we haven't seen yet, I'm discounting,
We have
and the
a list
GM,
in front of us, by the way.
I'm discounting the GM writers and the Jamato writers. I don't think either of us are gonna be like, oh, Jamato writers, they're above these people. The Jamato writers
cool,
just
though.
look cool, and we're talking about characters. We're not talking about suits.
Mm-hmm.
So who do we think is at the bottom? Let's try to agree on a list.
Well, I feel like we have to agree before it's like, so like obviously there's like characters that are like actively like bad or evil or an asshole, and then there's characters that like, oh, I don't really know them because they weren't around for very long. I don't know them that well. Like, do you put people that are actively terrible below the people that are just kind of meh? Or
yes, I put the meh people a little bit above because it's like, how could they have made me angry?
Exactly. Okay,
well, it's like unless they
I
were
wanted to be in agreement with that first,
unless they were completely useless. If it's like they set up like there was supposed to be a point and there was no point, I can say there's that because I kind of give one that, but it's like I'm not fully mad about it. So we all know who the bottom is.
Yeah. Oh.
Dan
Really?
or Mary, who's one's the bottom and one's right next to it.
That is a good question. Who do you put lower, Dan Pan or Mary?
As much as I want to say Dan Pan because he was literally just kill all people, I gotta give it to Mary for just being a piece of shit.
I was thinking that too, just because it's like, yeah, Dan Pan is like, it's kind of like fun to hate him, where it's like, because he, like, at least he's like, he's a bad person.
He's like Michi.
He's Michi, but it's like he has an active plan. He's going through it. He's trying to be smart about it, and it was, at the very least, like, fun to watch him try, I guess you can say.
Well, and lose at the end and like kind of go crazy. You're just like, what the?
It made it interesting. Mary was just kind of a piece of shit.
He was gross.
Like he lied, he tricked, he was gross. I'm really happy that
he literally was putting
shot
people
in the throat. That he got to sucker punch him that one time.
All right.
He was just kind of a piece of shit. So I feel like Dan Pan's like just a step above though.
Yeah, it's like he's
a terrible.
Yeah, it's like it's still you shouldn't try to kill all people. Like I don't know what you were expecting to get, how far you were expecting to get with that shit.
Yeah.
I
feel like I might know what you're gonna say next though.
Who? Oh, do you think? Okay, so we're gonna say Mary's bottom.
And then Genpen.
Not Genpen.
No, oh, I'm sorry. I was reading it and I said.
No, Mary. So
I said the thing I was reading. I'm sorry.
So it goes Mary. Then.
Oh, you're writing it down?
Yeah. Well, I want to keep track of these numbers. Oh yes, kids, it's pen and paper.
Ooh.
We all know what that is, don't we? I don't.
You don't.
I don't.
Do you want me to write it down?
No, I got it.
Are you gonna like?
Nah,
the
I'm
numbers
just
first, or?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. So you gotta just ask yourself, like, how many of these characters do we really get to know much about?
So are you gonna put like 11 or?
I guess. And so you gotta wonder, how are we placing this? So, but say, does anyone have any arguments of why? Do you have any arguments of why they shouldn't be at the bottom?
Why? Who are you talking about?
Like either Mary or Dan Pan to be.
Again, I can see the argument of Dan Pan being the worst one, if only just because.
Or being a better one because he had character, I guess.
Yeah, he had like a better I can see like people arguing that Dan Pan is worse just because like he would, because Mary's kind of just like the con artist, like
piece of shit
asshole, while Dan Pan was like actively like genocidal. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I can see
He
that
was almost, he
argument.
was cartoon evil.
Yeah, but it
like-
was like, but in a show regards, like, it was more fun to watch.
And yeah, it was honestly because it's just like it comes out of nowhere. So I guess who do you want to move on to next? Because we have the three that I want to call just
The shit.
character who were just like the
Three?
fillers.
The three? We only did two.
Like that's what I'm saying. The next three, like
Oh.
I would say Genpen and Letter. I feel like I should be the next two on the chopping block.
Genpen was the older man, right?
Genpen, no, that I was saving him for last. Kilo is the older man. I think Genpen was the one who had the sixth son.
Right.
And it's like, I think Letter is a little...
Which one was Kilo?
Kilo was the old man that Kiowa took his entry.
Okay.
That was I think he's above them, definitely.
I feel like Letter's probably the next one. I
Letter...
don't have anything against her, but it's like, we literally... She was there and gone. We know
Like,
nothing about her.
With the only thing... It was just kind of sad that she just kind of freaked out and died.
Her death was memorable.
Yeah,
Like,
you
she
just
got
saw, like,
beaten to death
pirates.
with swords.
By pirates.
So Letter.
It's like, yeah, she's just next. She has to be next.
Yeah, I feel like she got the least amount of
Like,
personality.
and it's like-
sadly.
And Genpen was just kind of there to show you, like, not anyone's safe because... And so was Shiroi.
Genpen at the very least was very interesting.
Would you put Shiroi over Genpen?
Honestly, I don't remember much about Shiroi, so
He-
I can't really... I'll let you make that decision. But, like, I can agree that both of them are kind of, like, the next ones, because it's, like, they were interesting from what I remember, but, like, again, there and gone kind of thing.
So...
I will let you decide whether who's above what, because I don't really remember Shiroi very much.
Well, Shiroi,
I feel like
wanna...
that's not very fair.
I don't... Well, he's kind of there and gone, though, too. He's, like, the first, like, kind rider we got to see with Buffa. And he was played by Kyoryu Blue, so it's, like, kind of that. But Genpen, I think, had a lot more of an impact, because we're seeing shadows of both of them, yes, but, like, with Shiroi's death, it's just kind of that scare of, oh my god, that guy died.
Like, holy shit, he's
But,
dead.
like...
But
But-
Genpen, like, we, like, felt the death. Like,
Well, it's like-
we knew more about him, too.
Well, yeah, and it's like, you gotta see through Kaiwa just like the, oh my god, this guy's dying in my arms from this game we're playing, and he's fighting for his life for his son. And yes, we knew Shiroi was a good person, but we also didn't know his desire. So I think I want to put him lower because we don't,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I think, yeah, as much as
Again,
I like
I don't
Shiroi...
remember much about him at all, so I feel like that kind of
Yeah, that's kind of speaks towards it. Like, the only reason I remember him is because he's Kyoryu Blue. Like, that's the only reason. So, I would say Genpen's next, because Kilo, I think, is the best of that group.
Kilo wasn't around for very long. He had a little bit more screen time, and he had an arc, and he was very enjoyable.
I liked the old
him.
man. It's like, yeah, they did the immediate gag of him breaking his like, back.
Throwing out his back.
Yeah, throwing out his back, but I don't know, like, that's what... I think he was entertaining, it was kind of fun, and just to have him have that sweet moment where it's like he was willing to sacrifice himself because he's like, you guys are young and keep going, I'm slowing you down.
And his resolve in the end of, like, as long as I live my life while I still have it, I don't need to be young.
Yeah, like...
Which was actually, like, really touching. That's not really a lesson I've ever heard before.
Well, yeah, it's like I've heard it once or twice in these shows, but like I definitely would say he's the next one.
All right, so basically the ones that we have left are like our main ones.
Our characters who are.
I am going to.
I don't know. Do we want to talk? Does the Game Master count? Like, I don't know, should we count Glare at all? Like, because it's like, yeah, we saw him for a little bit, but he's more of a system, and it seems like he was a cheat.
Yeah, and he technically wasn't a writer because he was breaking the rules.
He was still called a common writer, though.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I think we're only talking about DGP participants. I feel like that's what this list is.
We're talking about the game participants. If he were in here, like, I don't know, would you put him higher up? Would you put him lower?
I would probably put him about where we're going to right now. Where it's like he would be right above Kilo, because it's like he is a character. I do like how the game master just went from like that very sneaky, kind of cool, calm, collected, but as soon as things started falling apart, he just became more brutal and like just very obvious, and like he was just falling apart, and it was entertaining to see.
So, like, honorable mention,
He would-
he'd be about here.
Yeah, he'd
number
be a
5
yeah,
-ish.
he'd be about 6.
If we were
If we
doing
were
12,
if we
yeah.
were doing 12, he'd be 6. But
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
next?
He would be 6 if we were doing 12. He'd be right in the center.
All right,
So,
who's next?
I
Who are we
kind of
picking out of the main 5?
I was thinking about this recently, so I do kind of have my order.
Do you think Punk Jack goes here?
No.
Who do you think goes here?
Sadly, I kind of want to put Nyago here.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I would put her above Punk Jack.
Really?
I would.
Here's the thing, I really like Punk Jack as a character.
I do like him as a character.
I know I am personally very biased. But do you want to know, like, what my 5 were?
Oh,
and then, like,
okay.
You can say yours, and then we
Okay.
can kind of debate and then do it as a collective.
Okay, I guess, yeah, okay. Let's do it. Let's do it that way.
For me, 5, it was Nyago. I think it was Tycoon, Buffa, Punk Jack, and then Geats.
Okay, I think we're going to have the same number 1. Because I had Geats in my number 1. Because he's just too much of an entertaining character. Like, I want to see what him...
Like, he's super entertaining. He's dynamic when it comes to personality. He's really keeping things interesting. Like, and he feels...
Well, he's such a puzzle box in himself, you know?
But we've also seen him be open and real and genuine. You know,
Yeah.
like he's just.
I
Really
like his personality.
His personality is good. Like from a show
Like-
perspective,
like-
it's one of the first times when the main writer is like one of my favorites because he's just really entertaining.
And it's
the
like, if you
actor
don't...
does a phenomenal job.
And
with
if
him.
you don't like him...
he has mystery and
Yeah.
we want to know. It's interesting.
Yeah, and I love that he's an asshole about it.
Yeah.
He's really cocky about it.
He's a fun asshole. Like, he's an asshole.
He feels a little bit like Vegeta from Dragon Ball. A
You know
little
what? That's
bit.
a really good way of putting it.
But like
yeah.
without like with a lot less pride. He's like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Geats is
I don't know if he, you know what? That's a weird comparison. Maybe not.
Geats is Vegeta if he got a big head after he beat Goku.
I don't know.
By the way, I'm still kind of getting over my sickness a bit. Sorry if I sound a little weird.
But yeah, no, like, and like if you can't get over that, I could see you not agreeing with us there. But I think we are both agreeing that Geats, I feel like, is the most entertaining and the funnest writer to be here.
Yeah.
That's number 1 right here.
Yeah.
So
At this moment.
because this could all change by the end of the series.
Oh yeah.
Like, I
absolutely.
want to kind of
Especially,
keep tag.
especially with all the stuff with like Buffa coming back and like maybe being able to like spice some stuff
Yeah.
up, stir the pot a bit. Like I can see that being real fun. So again, like I had Punk Jack as my second
Why is Punk Jack number 2 for you?
because like a lot of the reasons that Geats is the top because like I obviously have the personal bias of like it's a bear that's in the shape of a pumpkin and it's a
Design.
jack-o'-lantern, and he's also like a punk rocker. Like and
His name is Hallelujah Win.
Come on. He's just very fun. He's also an asshole, but not to like the like cunning and like very smart about it like Geats. He's like kind of almost like a bumbling dumbass in a way. And he's very fun.
He tries his best.
He does his best. And also, I love the personality that we got, like, when he couldn't speak, but he still showed his personality a bit. Like, again, by punching Mary in the throat. But, again, we also saw him open up a bit and, like, kind of come to terms. And we saw, like, this guy, like, get backstabbed so many times.
You feel bad for him. I will say that.
It's just, he's been an interesting character. Like, I really liked him when he couldn't speak. And then when he could speak, it's like, oh, okay. And then, like, as it kind of dragged on a little bit, I started to lose interest in him again. But once, like, he started to, like, defy the game master, and we saw a little bit more about, like, who he is and why
like, you're learning,
there.
like, the punk rock thing is real.
Yeah, and, like, being, like, that is, like, kind of what he wants, and, like, it kind of being, like, stepped on. And, like, when we learned more about that, I started to enjoy him more, and then we got, like, first of all, like, him getting mind controlled, and then his fucking head possibly exploding, like...
Yeah.
It's been interesting though. I understand it being lower with us as a collective, but like I've just really enjoyed.
I can agree with you. I think he's been good, but why do you believe Niago should be number 5?
Well, just because like Buffa is also a very interesting character for again a lot of the same reasons. Of just,
Well, yeah,
like, he's just like a lot of these characters are assholes, and I kind of like it. It's really different, and
well, okay, wait. Neon's not that much of an asshole. Like she's the I guess
mean,
of those 3 that you're talking.
She's still selfish though. It's a
She
selfish
still has
game.
her sister. Well, yeah.
But like again, like Buffa is just like a really good character and everything. The reason I feel like that's kind of not an argument with it. Again, like if you put my personal bias with Punk Jack aside, like I think I enjoy Tycoon more, if only just because like, yeah, he's kind of like the more like happy, like trying to do the best he can, like doing good for the world kind of thing that we've seen a lot, but it feels very genuine.
Well, he's trying his best and he's getting kicked for it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I love the way that he's like approached certain situations, and he's that caricature, but still feeling like an actual character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not like to the level of like what we've seen in like I guess for instance like Sentai or something, but I just like yeah guys, come on, let's do it. Like he's still like a person, and he still has his desire, and he still like legitimately cares about things.
He tries his
he's
best.
He's not to the level of like I guess like Revi or like Kuga, like Revice or Kuga, basically.
Yeah, but people are easily to follow
level.
him.
He's definitely not at that level, but he still feels real and he still feels genuine. And I enjoy Nyago. I don't want it to sound like I don't enjoy Nyago. She was like one of my favorites for a long time. It's just I don't know. I feel like I don't connect with her as much as I do the other characters.
I don't know. I like that she's also figuring stuff out within herself, though.
Yeah.
Like not just like her internally, but I mean like her family's connection to the Grand Prix and all of that.
And figuring out just like why she wants her desires and like
or no, like how she was able to get in.
Is she willing to die for it?
Well, yeah, and it's like I think you're right, and I think she should be higher up.
I wish she was. I feel like she will obviously get higher as we get more characters, but like I genuinely do enjoy her, but I feel like I just enjoy Tycoon a little bit more. So that's why how she ended up that low.
Well, I think.
But I can understand if you want to put Punk Jack as number 5.
I think I can see the argument with Nyago. Like we even have even like her desire. Like we even know that her desire probably is going to get resolved similar to like Kilo's like thing, where it's like it might just get solved internally.
I don't know, because
maybe she would.
That she wants to feel. It hasn't been stated outright, but the more I hear it, the more I believe that she means true love more in like a familial way rather than like a romantic way.
Yeah, I know, but it's like that's what I'm saying, where it's like she's gonna feel loved by her friends or something else, or it's like, you know what I mean? Like something might happen, or maybe her mom will stop being a bitch. I don't know.
But like with Punk Jack, looking at it like realistically, I can see him being number 5, if only just because like again we haven't gotten to spend as much time with him.
Yeah, he has the least amount of time.
So it's like do you want to put him next?
Punk Jack is, I guess, I think so, and then I feel like then Nyago.
And then I imagine probably Tycoon and then Buffa, right? Buffa's really fucking interesting. He's a really cool guy.
Like I about to say, I can agree with that, but I could also see arguments for Buffa being lower, because he kind of becomes a little bit one note, but you also kind of feel like when you see it, it's almost him trying to convince himself of it at moments.
Yeah. Especially like with his quote unquote death scene.
Yeah, even though that's not a death scene.
Of him just like, please just let there at least be hope.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, what is this about? Like, I want to know what's his reaction going to be when he finds out this is a reality TV show. Like, that his friend legitimately died for nothing.
Like he's gonna be on. Maybe this is what's gonna get him and Geats to like team up.
Well,
because he's gonna be like, I want to take these fuckers down.
Like, yeah, it's like,
inside.
Is this gonna be the goal?
Or maybe that'll make him rebel, and that he'll.
Well, like, yeah, is that why he's gonna be on the Jamato?
Jamato and being on that side.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm very interested, and I think that's what places him at number 2. because, like you said, I agree with all your statements on Tycoon. I think he's a really likable everyman. I love that we even see him slap down so easily. He's
And he did.
But he also
he
finally
also didn't mention this, but in the episode that we just talked about,
he tricked everyone.
Like, not only did he trick everyone, but he also stood up for Geats.
Yeah, he's like
because like he's just like, you keep saying like, oh, it's a frivolous wish, and you keep getting down on other people's wishes. It doesn't matter what the wish could possibly be. If they are willing to fight and die for it, then it is a fine wish. It doesn't matter what the reasoning is behind it. And he even, again, like what we mentioned earlier, of like, oh, Nyago ended up telling Tycoon everything about his mom, because he even asked, like, I imagine has something to do with trying to find your mom.
I just made a joke.
What did you do?
Nothing. I'm dating it in the amount of episodes, so we can have, we have our congruent list. Buffa is number 2.
Why don't we do number 1 first of all?
We already know who number 1 is.
Yeah,
we
so
talked about number.
It's Geats,
Buffa, Tycoon, Nyago, Punkjack, Kilo, Genpen, Shiroi, Letter, Dampan, and Mary is last place because he's a piece of shit. Fuck him.
Fuck that guy. And with the honorable mention
of Glare.
Of Glare being number 6 if we were to have included that.
Yeah, and like honestly, like I said, I think again, this could all be different. Again, all up to preference about who's in. Even you think Punkjack should be higher. I don't necessarily feel that.
I think a lot of the bias does come from the fact that I just legitimately love the suit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like
I think Buffa.
I feel like that's a good spot for him at the moment.
Yeah, it's like the only reason I feel like Ace gets number 1 is because he's just so entertaining. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't care if it's basic or whatever, or if you don't agree. This is just the TokuBrew podcast current listings and ratings. And if you want to, guys, send us your own lists and maybe...
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Yeah, who do you... Okay, actually, better yet, just give us your top 5. Who are your top 5 of the writers? And I will be shocked if any of the what I'm going to call the filibuster writers get, like, fit in there. Like, are you actually, in your top 5, are you actually going to have Shiroi or Genpen? Like, I don't know,
yeah,
tell me.
I can see someone also arguing that just because, like, oh, I feel like that was the most interesting, like, resolve. Like, I can see that. Like, you know, I won't judge, you know, what are your reasons?
I know, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Tell your reasonings, don't get mad at us. But yeah, no, I think that's pretty much it.
Anything else you want to talk about? Or?
No, I'm about to say, we did our little rankings. I think we were on this longer than we were talking about the shows, but meanwhile, we were talking about Geats the whole time.
What your top was. I told you what mine was.
God, it was hard. It's like, I was hard for me to think, but it's like,
you said that Geats was your top, but you didn't mention
Geats was my
else.
top 1. Buffa was my second one, because I do enjoy Buffa. Yeah. That, and again, Buffa's fighting style when it comes to it, I love watching.
Oh, yes.
From how brutal he is. Like, that's an angle. Like, that's why he's, like, up there in mine.
Yeah, that wasn't even something that I mentioned, but absolutely. His fighting style does contribute a lot
just
to why
so
he's
brutal.
So cool.
So brutal. Again, like, the fuck the establishment kind of thing, just wanting to be, because it's like he's just out there for his revenge for his friend, which we're now realizing was probably used to make Jamato gross.
He was probably called manure.
Yeah. But, like, he was my number 2. I might have had Punkjack in at number 3.
Wow. I'm actually
because thinking about it, because it's like, I do think he was an interesting character.
We need to spend more time with him.
Like, yeah, before I say that, but, like, Tycoon was up there, I think you're right, with ahead of Nyago. And obviously Nyago is number 5, but I don't think she should be higher up. It's just, there's a lot more interesting.
We need to spend more time
with and I feel like now, assuming Punkjack's dead, he's definitely down in number 5, just because it's like, I like him, he was a good character, but if that's his end, that kind of feels like, well, I feel like we could have done more with him.
Yeah. But I guess...
It just kind of shows you kind of how cruel the Desire Grand Prix is.
But anyway, next episode, there's a new there's going to be new characters. Looks like we're going to be having a good old time. Decker, I imagine, will be back.
Yeah. Maybe. Well, I don't know, or maybe. We'll see what the clip show episode is. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll find out when we get there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, give your own rider rankings. Sorry there was very little Dawn Brothers, but it was just fun. Like, Dawn Brothers was just really fun. Like, I have no complaints, and I loved the episode, but there's not much really left to talk about, because it's like we're waiting.
Really really plot dense. They didn't really
Yeah.
include the.
Well, then it's like we're nearing the end of
Yeah.
Dawn Brothers, so I feel like it's like saving the discussion and savoring it as it lasts.
Yeah, it looks like the next episode will probably be like half fun, half important. You know, when it comes to the Dawn
Maybe.
Brothers. But oh god, they've wrapped filming, and I am so sad to see Dawn Brothers start to go. I'm really excited to see how they're gonna wrap up the show.
King Oger looks awesome.
Oh yeah, we've seen the designs from the new Sentai, and they look fucking awesome.
Yeah, do you like how they're bugs and
I know. I'm going in with optimism.
So yeah.
Thank you so much for listening.
Yep. And until next week, thank you so much for listening one last time, and until whatever we're up to next.
Bye-bye.
Bye.